how are wellness business owners just like you generating 5 to 6 figures in profit with our done for you medical team? Now this thing says profit on here. It says 5 to 6 figures, right? Those things are fun. Obviously, if we add anything to business as entrepreneurs, we want to make sure it makes us money. Most importantly, it makes us profit. But the biggest thing that I just want to throw in right now as a caveat is we care about that, but we care more about patient care. Okay. If you are in the transformation business, we hope that you care about transformation. And so when it comes to what we do and how we do it, as you guys will see, we are not a inject and profit model. Okay. There's a reason why we're connecting with wellness business owners like yourselves is because we want all patients to not just have great patient care and a great medical experience and a great doctor. We want them to have the other options available to them when it comes to fitness, nutrition, body contouring, like other types of services that help them improve and create a long-term transformation. So again, this is not for us to build if you're trying to become like the next Hims and Hers, where all you do is you just mass volume, like it's candy, throw out GLP-1s. You're probably not going to like this call and you're not going to like how our company operates. So if you guys can just let me know if you're in agreement with that, give me a one or yes in the chat if you're open to making sure that we're providing a full transformation program that includes medical, nutrition, fitness, all the other aspects of what we need for a long-term change. That would be great. We are not overprescribers. We want to make sure that people have a full transformation journey. I love it, guys. And then in the process, let's all make, some good profit for our business as well. Okay, perfect. So you guys are in the right spot. So who has this worked for? So before we dive into the presentation, I want to quickly address who this system has actually successfully worked for. Over the last few years, we have been blessed to be partnered with wellness professionals across the board. So we're talking med spa owners, gym operation owners, chiropractors, physical therapists. We even have doctors in here that will use us to help with the medical fulfillment and the patient care. And so really any business owner, wellness business owner whose true primary mission is transforming people's lives. Okay, so if your business revolves around helping your clients improve their health, their fitness, their overall quality of life, what you're about to learn has the potential to dramatically elevate your impact and, of course, your income in the process. So I'm not the only owner of this company. My name is Josh. By the way, I did not introduce myself, but I also have two awesome business partners that really, really care about this industry and care about patient care and wellness business owners themselves. So we have Trevor here on the left-hand side, Justin Lesh here on the right-hand side. Some of you might know Justin Lunch, so he speaks at a lot of major conferences, including CryoCon every single year. And these guys are really, really deeply embedded into the wellness industry, and we want to help business owners like yourself succeed. Okay, together, us three, we have tackled some of the biggest challenges in the wellness industry, and so we're excited to share that experience and strategies with you guys today. Our start came from being brick and mortar business owners. Okay, so it was not instant success, or we just came up with a medical weight loss software. It was being in the trenches, running our own gyms themselves. So all three of us have owned and sold gyms in the industry over the last 2 decades. Like many of you, we were struggling with, what it looks like to do that, right? Waking up before sunrise, unlocking doors, training sessions, building community, managing staff. If you have staff, you understand the headache of that. Worrying about pay overhead, payroll, all that stuff there. And so we loved it, but it was incredibly hard. And so every single month, no matter how successful the previous one had been, as entrepreneurs, we know that the first of the new month brings a whole new wave of stress, anxiety, because you're starting from ground zero again. And so I really want you guys to just know it's like we have lived it, we've breathed it, we understand what it looks like to coach wellness, what it looks like to coach weight loss, and what it looks like to own wellness businesses. Okay, so you guys are not alone. How we have developed this company is specifically around that and with that mindset in charge. Okay. From that, after we sold our gyms, we went into marketing and sales consulting, specifically in this industry. So we've done a lot of hard sweat and tears, error, but we have figured out a lot of systems and strategies that have worked exceptionally well to help scale wellness clinics, gyms, and other wellness professionals. Okay, we've been blessed to work with some of the largest brands in this industry, like iCryos, Drip Bars, Mobile IVs. In the past year alone, we probably worked about 500 plus different clinics as well, specifically around medical weight loss. And so we've had the privilege of scaling companies like Ultra Cryo. They have 3 locations of just doing sculpting, wellness modalities, and GLP-1s, doing about $350,000 per year, and then Scope Wellness out in Tri-Cities doing over $1.2 million in just recurring revenue in GLP-1s. So it is fascinating what you can do when you combine medical with wellness, and there's a lot of growth that you guys have the potential of having in your business. The other team members I want to introduce you guys to, most importantly, is Dr. Crystal Burchard. So she's based here out of Houston, Texas. She is our head doctor. So she is the doctor that is over all protocols, over prescriptions. She manages the nurse practitioners. And so the reason why we chose Dr. Burchard is because, not just because she's licensed in all 50 states and she can write prescriptions, but the reason we chose her is because she personally herself has been deeply embedded in the weight loss industry. Okay, so she's had her own transformation journey, losing over 100 pounds herself. She's been featured on, Dr. Phil, the Doctor's Network, the Peak Method infomercial, but she has a real heart when it comes to patient care, right? She's not about over prescribing, overdosing people. She's about making sure that patients are having long-term transformation with the protocols that she does. So anything that we do medical, you guys will see Dr. Burchard has a lot of impact on that. The other team member I want you guys to meet here is Yulia Flynn. She is our general counsel. So I hope everyone here, you can give me a 1 in the chat if you don't want to get sued. I know this is a great thing to even say, but what we want to make sure that we do is everything is always above board, right? So when it comes to HIPAA compliance, doing telehealth, when it comes to prescribing, our doctors, how we do everything, we want to make sure that is always above board because the laws change almost daily now, right? And so we just want to make sure that we have someone who's looking at everything that we do, making sure that you guys are good to go. And so going back to our last company, the consulting company, there were two things that almost made us shut it down completely before even thinking about making this company. And this is what started AstraMed here. There were two things that were so frustrating, so challenging, it made us almost walk away from being in this industry and dealing with medical weight loss at all. And I want to share those things with you guys. And if you have seen these things, let me know in the chat because I'm curious if you agree with it. But the first problem, the number one problem we encountered was that the current healthcare system, particularly around medical weight loss, is fundamentally broken. Okay, you guys have probably seen this yourself. There's a flood of quick fix medications entering the market right now. And the sad reality is that most programs are failing to deliver real lasting results because they're missing critical elements required for meaningful change. Okay. And these elements are no coaching, right? A lot of things right now, like you guys have seen the commercials, Hims and Hers, the online telehealth providers, you can go on, you can get a prescription, but there's no guidance on what to do next, leaving people to have to figure it out on their own. There's no support. If you're currently, I know some of you guys are currently selling GLP-1s and you might have seen this, but just because you have a doctor prescribing, you have medical oversight, doesn't mean that person's actually getting quality support and patient care, which goes to no check-ins, right? We have seen people on medications where the only check-ins they actually get from their doctor is when it comes around renewing their prescription. And then no accountability. If you've been on a weight loss transformation or a health journey yourself, or you've taken people through it, you know, one of the most critical aspects of success for long-term, right? Success, long-term transformation, not rebounding, is having accountability in the process as well. And so when we put all these things together, what it means is that there is just really no absolute long-term transformation happening, right? You have people that are experiencing short-term success followed by rapid rebounds, and it's this constant cycle that people are getting themselves into. And that's been the world of medical weight loss as it is. It's essentially become, as I mentioned at the beginning of this call, an eject and profit model. And that's what we want to avoid. Okay. So I appreciate you guys already saying that's what you want to avoid as well. The second issue that we've seen is really, it's a symptom of the first issue, right? Is that there is no way for wellness business owners right now to be able to tap into this market. And so we have wellness business owners like yourselves, like ourselves, who actually truly care about our clients and want to provide real solutions, but we don't have an easy, compliant way to access this medical weight loss space. Okay. So we personally saw when we own our gyms that we would have clients leaving to try medical weight loss solutions elsewhere. And I'm sure that just as you are, right, you are going to be the person that's going to take the best care of your clients. Okay. But there are barriers to entering the space, right? You have medical compliance, prescriptions, pharmacy relationships, right? They can all seem overwhelming and expensive. And so this is where we realized that there had to be a better way to make this actually happen. And this is why we built AstraMed. Okay, so our goal with AstraMed is to give you guys a simple, powerful way to deliver life-changing results backed by real medical doctors, okay, without you having to worry about the compliance risk or the headache of medical fulfillment, such as hiring medical staff. Okay, so my promise is that by the end of this, you guys will see exactly how your business can quickly and easily start offering a fully compliant, scalable, medically supported medical weight loss program. We have other medications we'll talk about as well, not in months, not weeks, but literally in just a few days. Okay, so with that being said, let's dive into why it might make sense for you guys to add on medical weight loss if you're not already, 100% sold on wanting to add in this solution as well. So there are some challenges that we see a lot of people facing when it comes to this industry. First one is you're chasing revenue. Okay, it's okay. We're all in a safe spot with entrepreneurs. If you feel like you're having to chase revenue every single month, drop me a 1 in the chat if you feel like you've been in this position. If no one drops a 1 in the chat, I need business coaching from all of you guys because we know how it goes. All right, I appreciate Lamb 1 there. Perfect. Let's go. So this is something that happens, right? So especially if you have packages, right? Or you're selling set programs, right? You might even be selling supplements on top. But what happens here is that sometimes it feels like you're starting all over again every single month. You don't have a consistent and sustainable recurring revenue source happening. And so medical weight loss can help this, and I'll show you guys how in a second. The second challenge that we see people face, and this is the most common one right now, is that clients are going to other places. So people are looking for it, right? Clients are starting to look elsewhere for results, especially when it comes to GLP-1s and medical weight loss. It's booming. Your clients are no longer satisfied with basic programs, basic workouts, meal plans, right? They want rapid change, right? But we also want to make sure they can do it correctly. And so if you're not currently offering a solution for them, they're going somewhere else, right? Do you guys have patient clients right now that are using your service that you know are in GLP-1s? I'm just curious how many people here know someone that's currently one of their clients that are using GLP-1s from someone else. You can just drop a yes in the chat if that is you. Okay, that's what I figured. Okay, yeah, and we see this a lot. And then the third thing is, and we already hit on this just a little bit, is that compliance and fulfillment are nightmares. Okay, this is the biggest barrier for getting in the space. And let's face it, you're not a doctor, I'm not a doctor. We didn't get in the wellness space to deal with prescriptions, complicated regulations, pharmacy relationships. So we want a solution that's fully compliant, completely legal, and hands off when it comes to medical fulfillment. But this is where most business owners get stuck at this exact roadblock, right? If you've been on a call with like Clinics of America, telehealth setup companies, you've seen it can be $60,000 plus just to get a system set up in your business. And so it becomes really tough to get into it. And so bolting on a medical team makes these challenges solvable, right? And not only does it solve those core challenges, but it adds a lot of potential for growth for your business as well, especially when you start tapping into the space of peptides. And so you're here on this call for a reason. Probably don't have to like explain this to you, but there's an exploding demand happening right now. Okay. It's projected to go to about $300 billion by 2030 in the medical weight loss space alone, not including peptides. And so by integrating a medical team into your current service offerings, you're directly tapping into one of the fastest growing segments in this wellness industry. The second thing, this is probably my favorite thing, is because it brings consistency. The average GLP-1 patient, and we have seen this over the last 4 years working in the consulting world here, stays for about 6 to 12 months. Okay. So if you're adding an extra $305 per month in recurring revenue per client on a medical service in your business, you have a very sticky monthly recurring revenue stream. Okay. And this is some of the best places to be in business where you can lay your head down at night and you know exactly how much you're going to auto draft over the next 30 days. And it becomes really fun when that auto draft amount becomes more than what your expenses are. And then this is where it gets even better, is high profit, low effort. And if we're being real, these two things rarely go together when it comes to the world of business, right? Usually if something promises a lot of return, there's usually a lot of complexity that comes with it, like increasing staff, operational costs, things such as that. But the way that we build out AstraMed is to make that not the case, right? Our system is fully outsourced when it comes to medical fulfillment. So that means that you guys need zero extra staffing, right? Zero headaches when it comes to, how do you deal with pharmacy relationships, put in orders, put in prescriptions. And so we make everything fully automated, making it maintenance free on your end, which means that you can increase your profits without increasing your overhead costs or complexity in your business. Okay. And then gets the most important thing, is that everything we do is doctor back and doctor prescribed with a patient care team. Okay, so this is not, and if you're selling this, please don't get mad at me. I'm not making fun of you, but this is not an MLM. This is not a, skinny, what is it? The skinny detox teas and stuff like that. While those things can be decent solutions for people, we want to make sure that everything that we do here is a doctor prescribed solution, which means that it differentiates yourself from other competitors who are offering generic solutions. Okay. One thing that concerns me in the space right now is we see a lot of research only peptides, and you guys might have seen that as well. And so you're not sending your clients some research only vial, right? That says for not for human use, which we see a lot of wellness business selling. You're sending something that is doctor prescribed and doctor managed. Okay. So with that being said, I would love to walk you guys through exactly why you came here today, step by step through how the system works. So we're going to go like from the basics, from when you send someone through to how we provide medical fulfillment. So if you guys are still here with me right now and you're ready to go through step by step, give me a yes in the chat. You can drop a 1 in there if you just want to type 1. If 3 letters is a little bit too tough. I love it. You guys came ready to roll. So let's get into it. So this is going to sound dumb. It's going to sound simple, but it is very important, is that step number 1, your clients sign up and they pay you directly for medical weight loss services. Okay. This is so important because this means that you guys retain full control over your pricing, your client relationships, and your profits. Okay. So this is not something where you send them to us. We collect their card information. We charge them a set price, because then that means that we own your clients, right? And that is not how we want to do business here. We're here to provide the fulfillment on the medical service, okay? So you are not just making a commission, you're running your own profitable medical weight loss program within your business, okay? So you guys control your pricing, you control your packaging, you control how you sell this to your clients. But the most important thing is that we give you everything you need to be able to confidently sell these services from day one. Okay, so we provide you with everything you need: a comprehensive and professionally designed patient intake form from Dr. Bashard. So if you're new to GLP-1s, you know exactly who should you sign up, who should you not sign up, and how do you sign them up. Okay, we give you a proven sales process. So if you've never sold a medical service before, we walk you through exactly step by step on how partners are successfully converting their leads into paying clients right now. So we don't want you to have to guess. We don't want trial and error, but we do want you to have full control over collecting payment and your sales process itself. Okay, so after a client has signed up, enrollment is simple. You're just simply going to head to your dedicated AstraMed partner portal and enroll your client. Okay, so this portal is your central hub designed to make client management seamless and hassle-free. And so this is what it looks like. So you guys will have full access to this. This is your partner dashboard, your partner portal. And so from this location, you can track all of your clients' enrollments. You can monitor patient statuses. You can see real-time updates from the doctors on clients' progress. Everything you need is effortlessly put in here for you guys to be able to manage your clients and have clarity over your patients. Okay, and of course, everything is HIPAA compliant. Okay. So once you go from here, we have a fully automated patient enrollment process. So after enrolling a patient, our system takes over from here. Okay, so you don't have to input anything on your own. You don't have to call the doctor. You don't have to call the pharmacy. That is going to be done automatically from here. So your patient is going to fill out an enrollment form that you give them. This is custom to the link of the medication that you just sold. And so they'll use this to securely input their personal medical information. And then from there, it gets sent over to our licensed physician, Dr. Bashard, and her team. Okay, so everything is compliant, everything is HIPAA compliant as well, making sure that we have professional oversight without any extra effort on your part. Okay, so the other part from there, right? Doctor gets it, Dr. Bashard gets it, she writes a prescription. Then from here, this is where our network of 503A pharmacies come into play. Okay, so we use 503A compounding pharmacies, which allows us to be able to send directly to patient. Okay, so we're not shipping medication to your location. You're not managing medication. You're not handling medication, storing medication, or doing anything like that. We ship directly to your patient. Okay. Now, the other part that becomes fun about this is if you guys are someone where you're trying to also go online, or you have friends and family members, referrals, people that are outside of your zip code, you are fully compliant to be able to now sell people in all 50 states. Okay, because we can write a prescription in all 50 states and we can deliver medication in all 50 states. Okay, is anyone here going to be operating outside of their state? I'm just curious how many people will be using this for a format for going state to state. You can give me a yes in the chat if you are. Cool. So Matt and Molly, you guys are perfect. And of course, you have the option, right, guys? You can do this in location, brick and mortar, but you also have the opportunity and you have the option to sell people that are outside of your state as well. Sweet. So we got a few people that will be going multi-state. I love it. So as I mentioned, the physician then reviews your client's information. They approve them. They write the prescription. This all happens in less than 48 hours. And then it gets sent over to our trusted pharmacy, which will ship in less than 48 hours as well over dry ice. Okay. So all of this means that in less than, and I skipped a slide here, but in less than, 48 hours, the medication is arriving on your client's front porch after they've been prescribed. Okay. So this is the part where we could stop. Okay. You guys now have access to the doctor network. You guys can get prescriptions. You have the pharmacy that can ship to patient's house. So you guys can sell a medical weight loss program and we can deliver on that promise. But there is another element that is really critical, right? You guys have already heard me harp on this. You already know it. I keep talking about it, but we care about patient care. We care about long-term transformation. So one of the other things that we provide underneath the management of Dr. Bouchard is a fully functional patient care team. Okay, so we do not just want to be the people that can write a prescription and ship a medication. We also want to make sure that we have really good patient care on the backside. And we also don't want you guys having to deal with medical fulfillment, right? So we give an end-to-end patient fulfillment team. This means that we're not just managing prescriptions, the shipping, but we're also doing weekly patient check-ins, right? Every time they have an injection day, we're making sure that we're monitoring side effects, weight loss, how they are doing, okay? Because this information is really important for the doctor. And the other part that we give is full medical support. So if any question, for example, let's say, Matt and Molly, you guys have Susie come to you and Susie says, hey, I left my bowel medication outside the fridge for 3 hours. What do I do? Well, that's where we have full support with our medical team. Okay, so we're here to answer all questions revolving around medicine so that way you guys aren't put in a position where you have to answer those questions either. Okay, and of course, you guys will have full HIPAA compliant access to understand patient info, what's happening with patients. You'll be able to ask us any questions that you have around patients that you send through. Okay. The other thing, I did ask you guys at the beginning of this call, if you're willing to make sure that your patient has access to nutrition and fitness resources. So if you already offer those things, perfect, right? You can keep offering them. If you do not offer those things, we give them to you. Okay, so we give you guys tailored GLP-1 patient resources. These are specialized recipe packs, meal plans, kitchen cleanouts, grocery shopping list, fitness guides for at home or in gym. And so we give you all of these resources so that we can white label them and give them to your clients. There's a couple reasons why we do it this way versus just giving it directly to patient. Number one, these are your clients. So we want the value coming from you. Okay, this can add a lot of value to your packages as well. Number two, some of you guys might want to modify this. Some of you guys might want to adjust this. For example, if you're a gym owner, you might already have them on a fitness program with you. So we want you guys in full control on what the patient gets access to. But the most important thing is that we want them to all have access to fitness and nutrition resources. So I'll just ask this question one more time. We literally put this in our agreement, but are you guys willing to make sure that you deliver either your own or ours nutrition and fitness resource? Mallory, I'm glad you think it's amazing. Thank you. We definitely want to make sure patients have access to this. And let's be real, not every patient will take advantage of it, but it is important that they have it. I like you guys. Sweet. Love it. So with that, I want to give you guys a little bit of example of just what it looks like for patients. So we practice what we preach. Okay, so we want to make sure that it's not just something of prescribing, giving medication, that's it. We want people having long-term transformation. And this is Aaron here. He's been with us for a little bit over 10 months, has lost over 60 pounds, and for the first time ever has kept it off for good. Ashley, this is one of my favorite ones. I put this one in here on purpose because if you look at her biggest win that she showed us, it has nothing to do with the GLP-1s. Her biggest win is that she's now, for the first time ever, actually going outside and exercising. And that's what we want to see for long-term transformation. Gloria, she's like your typical, we'll say this to her, but she's like your typical older lady who has done pretty much everything underneath the sun. All the crash diets, the HCGs, all that stuff there. And so it's cool to see that for her, it's the first time that she's breaking through a plateau and she's actually having sustainable habits. So these are the success stories that we want to see. And this is ultimately what we want to see at the end of the day. So Tahira, she owns the gym in Houston. She's one of our partners that's crushing it right now. And so she sent this message in a couple weeks ago. She said, all my clients have been extremely impressed by the support from AstraMed once they've been approved. Okay, this is what we want to see because if you sell something, right, your name is on that. Okay, even if we're the ones providing medical fulfillment, right, it always comes back around to you if you're the one taking the money from the client. So we want to make sure that when you guys send people to us, that we are making sure that they have a really great patient experience and a strong support system. Okay, because we want them coming back to you, just like Tahiro said here. We want them coming back to you excited, not just because they got medication, but excited about the way that they're being treated. Okay, so this is a big philosophy for us. So we talked about the model, we've talked about patient care. Now what I want to do is walk you guys through some examples of how you make money. And so here, what I want to do is I want to walk you through 2 examples of how our partners are selling this right now in their business, and give you some examples on, how you can package this as well. Now, again, I do want to remind you guys, no matter what you see here, you guys are in full control of your pricing and your packaging. Okay, so we are not going to tell you what you have to charge, but of course, I recommend that you charge something that makes you profitable. Okay, at least I hope you do so. So a good example of this is, let's just say that you already offer a service that goes well with GLP-1s, which a lot of you guys do, right? That could be fitness coaching, that could be body contouring, red light, wellness services, the stretch lab here, right, with your fitness programs there. And so this is an example of a transformation offer. And so we love transformation offers because it gets people in the mindset that they're not just getting medication, but they're joining for a medical weight loss transformation program. So for example, you would take anything you want to add on to this package that you sell. And then, as we've already shown you, we provide the rest, right? GLP-1 fitness program, nutrition plan, habit program, the medication itself, the shipping and supplies for that medication, the medical consultation with the doctor and support, dedicated support text line with the patient care team. And so can you guys see how this package is a lot more attractive and adds a lot more value than just telling someone, hey, do you want semaglutide? Okay, so that's the beauty in doing a transformation package. And then also it goes really well if you have other services that benefit other people that you're already selling right now. Okay, and this in real time, a good example, you guys will see Cheryl Burke. She's in our community as one of our partners. She's from Georgia, and her words, not mine. She says she's in a podunk town with like a population size of 15,000. So she was selling just body shaping sessions alone, 8 sessions for 12. It was like a 12 weeks package for 8 sessions for about $800 to $1,000. And so she adds on the GLP-1s, the package that I just showed you there. Now she's selling that same package for $2,400. Okay. Another pricing example would be if you don't do transformation programs, you can have monthly or quarterly pricing, right? So we give you guys monthly packages that you can sell. We give you quarterly package every 3 months. And so semaglutide, usually you'll see people will be selling that between $300 to $400 per month. Tirzepatide, if you're familiar with that, medication is a little bit more expensive. People are usually selling that for $500 plus per month there. Okay. So you guys have options. Now, this is Bridget. I made fun of skinny detox programs, but she was someone that was selling a $99 14-day colon detox program. Okay. She switched over to us, started offering a full medical service backed by doctors, and now she's selling that same 12-week program for $1,100. Okay. I love how she says here, easiest money I ever made. We do want it to be easy for you guys. That's the point. But there's a lot of different ways that you can package it and different ways that you can price it. Okay. Does that make sense on pricing, guys? Get a thumbs up. One in the chat. Yep. Perfect. Okay, cool. So next, let's talk about your cost. So I walked you guys through what can you charge, but now let's actually get to what matters most, which is your profit, right? What is your cost when you do send a patient through? So if you guys don't know this, this is really important. I was just on a call with a lady who just signed up. The company she was going to use before us is being investigated by the FBI because they were not doing this part correctly. So it is illegal to make money off of a doctor's visit and to upcharge for a doctor's visit, and it's illegal to upcharge for medication. So what we do is we pass on all at cost to you. So when you send a patient through, we're not upcharging you guys for their service or anything like that. We're just passing on the cost of the medication, the cost of the doctor's visit, and the shipping fees just directly to you. And so this is great because, as you guys know, there are power in numbers. So if you were to go and build a pharmacy connection right now with like Strive, one of the major pharmacies, the amount that they upcharge you is pretty sad. Okay. But because we have over 100 plus partners sitting through patients, we get really good pricing when it comes to our medication. So I'm going to walk you guys through some examples. As I text you guys before you came on this, I'm not hard selling you guys anything today. We will send you guys all this information so you guys will get these here for the pricing. But let's say that you sold a 3-month supply of semaglutide. If you sold a 3-month supply of semaglutide for the first 3 months on the base dosing, you'll see that your total at cost will be $324. So if you're selling it for at the low end for $1,000, you have a really healthy profit margin. Okay. Just like with any other medication, as they increase their dosing, the cost of the medication will increase slightly. So when they're on their next 3 months, you'll see your total cost will only be $420. Okay. So we keep pricing as low as we can for you guys. And we're always transparent, let you guys know exactly how much the medication costs, the doctor fee costs, and the shipping and management fee costs. And so the reason why we love this model here is because you guys are always getting paid first, signing someone up. And then after that person that's already been fulfilled on, then you just have that charge for their cost for the medication, the doctor fee, and the shipping fee. Okay. Tirzepatide is another medication that we have. Tirzepatide is more expensive than semaglutide. If you don't understand the difference between both, we have full training on both the differences and why you might sell one over the other. Most people are selling semaglutide. Okay. Tirzepatide for a 3-month supply is only $530 for all that cost. And then for the next 3 months, as that medication increases, it's about $990 for a 3-month supply. Most people are selling tirzepatide or buying tirzepatide for somewhere around $600 plus per month. Okay. So As I also mentioned, you don't just have to sell a 3-month package. We also have month-to-month options. So if you wanted to get someone on just month-to-month for semaglutide, you'll see that cost range will range from 135 to 183. Average person is selling semaglutide for 350 plus per month. Okay. So I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers at you guys. Are we all good on understanding the cost breakdown and how you get charged when you send a patient through? Sweet. Can you give me a couple ones in chat? Just want to make sure before we move on here. We'll have time for questions at the end as well. Sweet. Hopefully you guys love these profit margins. The goal is you should always be pretty much above a 40 to 50% profit margin, if not a little bit more, especially if you're packaging it like a transformation package. Awesome, guys. So that is what you need, right? So you have the doctor that can prescribe, you have the pharmacy that can ship directly to the patient. Okay, you have the patient fulfillment team that takes care of all medical support questions for you guys around the medicine, but we don't want to stop there. Okay, because I know a lot of you guys, it's going to range. Some of you guys are new to business, like we just saw someone here that's just getting started. Some of you guys already have hundreds of clients that you already know that will be interested in getting on GLP-1s. And so from our experience of being in the consulting and marketing space here, we do give you guys a lot of resources to launch this for free. Okay, so this is what we call our Astro Launchpad. And so what you guys will get access to is you're going to first get access to a GLP-1 certification course and any other medications and peptides. Justin, I'm going to get to that question there because you're hitting it around the head. Any other peptides that we roll out, you guys will have a full certification course for any medication that we offer. Okay, this is really important for you to be able to train your team. If you're new to GLP-1s and other peptides, to train yourself to make sure you understand who these medications are for, who they're not for, how they work. And then, of course, you will become certified and be able to speak to that as well. Okay. The second that we give you is going to be a medical weight loss launch system. So this system here, we want to make sure you guys have everything you need to launch this successfully in your business. Okay. I know a lot of you guys already know people that you can sign up instantly, but we do want to give you resources to help you with that process. So you'll have an email and SMS sequence that you can take, copy, paste, and send out to your past leads, past clients, current clients as well, and know that you now offer medical weight loss. You have template marketing materials. So these are things that you can put on social media, on your website, in-store location, if you have a brick and mortar front. Pretty much want to give you everything you need to actually launch this thing effectively to get your first handful of patients right out the gate. Okay. We also offer live coaching. So my business partner, Justin Lesh, is probably one of the most knowledgeable person I know when it comes to meta advertising for weight loss, when it comes to selling packages, marketing, organic marketing. And so we have live coaching calls every single week for you and your team that usually structure around business growth, right? They're usually going to be around, we have scaled so many 7-figure gyms, a lot of spots, clinics, med spas. So we have a lot of knowledge and a lot of things that we'd love to train on and give you guys, feedback about your packages, feedback about your questions when it comes to your sales process and your marketing game plan. Okay. And then lastly, here you have access to our partner community. And so this partner community is fun because just look on this call, right? There are a lot of you guys on this call. I guarantee you, every single person here has a nugget that you could give that would drastically change someone else's business. Okay. And so our community is awesome because people are willing to share. So you're going to be able to see what's working for others in this industry, not just around medical weight loss, but just around wellness business itself. You can get peer-to-peer feedback on questions that you have for your business, and most importantly, just stay ahead in this business as things are changing so rapidly. Okay, so with our onboarding system, you guys can go live in less than 48 hours. Okay, that is our promise to you. And so let's talk about what it looks like to get started. So first off, what it's not. So this is not the traditional way of starting a medical business. Okay, traditional way of starting a medical business is you have to open up a new LLC. You have to get medical direction, right? Medical direction just means that you have a doctor that's overseeing your prescription. That's usually about $18,000 per year. Then underneath medical direction, you still have to have medical staff on hand for that state. And so depending on that state, it's either can just be an RN or someone like that, or it might have to be a nurse practitioner, which we all know is going to cost a lot more than $40,000 per year. If you want to go a step above, like we do provide full medical support, you need patient care staff for that. And then of course, malpractice insurance, all of that fun stuff there. So we were seeing our clients that we were, doing consulting for spending upwards of $150,000 per year on just operational costs to offer a medical service in our business. And so our thing with Asher, not our goal, what we do with Asher is we want to save you guys money on that front so you do not have to do that to start a medical arm in your business. Okay. So let's put this all together. So what do you actually get with Asher Med? First thing you do is you get access to our doctor and pharmacy network, right? So this is access to our licensed doctor in all 50 states, pharmacy network in all 50 states as well. You have patient fulfillment. So this is us handling the check-ins, patient questions, medical support. All of those things are going to be done by our patient fulfillment team. You do not need to hire staff for medical support. Okay. We'll give you all the resources for GLP-1 patients. So these are meal plans, fitness plans, nutrition resources, and fitness resources. We give you the business growth materials you guys need. So those packages that I was showing you, we teach you guys exactly how to build them out for your business itself, including sales scripts. You guys know I mentioned in the earlier Ultra Cryo, they're about $350,000 per month in new business when it comes to just medical weight loss and body contouring packages. So we actually go on their site. We have a video on our training that walks you through exactly what their sales process looks like so you can model that in your business. Okay. You guys will have onboarding templates for every medication we have so you understand what patient intake needs to look like, who's a good fit, who will qualify for this service before you actually sell them. And then, of course, you have access to our partner portal. which is where you send your patients through, and then our partner community, where you have all the resources that I showed you to have success with launching this into your business. So we want to give you guys a lot of immediate value, but our commitment to you guys is to make it easy for you to add this on to your business. Okay. So we keep our pricing very simple and low. We simply have a one-time setup fee that's good for life for $19.97. And then it's only $297 per month for full access to the system. And that includes unlimited patients, right? So you are not capped on how many people you send through. And so this is where I like to ask some questions. You guys can just give me a yes in the chat if this is true for you. But if all this did was help you create an easy to sell high ticket medical weight loss package, would that be worth it in your business? If all this did was help you get the 3 clients, a lot of you already said you already have clients on GLP-1, so just switch over and I'll get it from you guys, would that be worth it? And then if you guys could create a scalable sales process for your team around medical services, would that be worth it? And so we know that you guys could be above a 50% margin in everything that you guys do here. You can sell 12-week transformation packages. And just like Cheryl did, right? We know like 1 transformation package covers your entire enrollment fee, right? 2 will cover all of your software fees for the rest of this year and 2026 itself. And so as I promised you guys though, I appreciate you guys taking the time to sit here, right, and walk through the process, understand how it works before you add this onto your business. So we do have a gift for you that we give to the people that actually show up and stay to the end of the webinar. So if I can give you guys a gift, please give me a yes in the chat. I do like to get permission before we give out gifts. But are you guys okay with me giving you guys something cool today? I love it. Awesome, my friends. So what we do for you guys who actually stay to the end, get all of the information, understand how this process works, is we make it even easier for you guys to set this up in your business. So we give you guys $1,000 off your setup fee. Okay. So what that means is that for you guys to start, add this onto your business to now be fully functional, we'll be able to sell a medical weight loss service and other medications that I'm going to get to in a second. This means that it's only $997 to get started. And then again, just $297 per month. Okay. So what we do, we're not going to pay that here today. That's not what this is about. We're going to do an implementation call. And so this is with me personally. So what I like to do is I like to get to know you first. I want to understand your business model, make sure it's a good fit for you. And then we'll discuss any specific question that you have for your business. So on this implementation call, you guys schedule this. If you take advantage of it on the implementation call, we'll take $1,000 off your setup fee. So Mary, if you don't mind, can you drop this link in the chat for people? If you're on your computer, you can just scan the QR code. If you're on your phone, like I know a lot of you guys are, we're going to drop the link in the chat here where you guys can schedule. So this week, we already have about 14 of those books, so it is getting a little bit tight. And this is just with me personally, guys. I want to meet you guys as well. So go ahead and just find the first available time that you can, get that booked out. We should have enough times open, as long as, well, there's a lot of people in this call, so we'll see. But there should be enough times open for you guys to get booked within the next couple of days. For some reason there's not, you can just let us know and I'll do my best to work around your schedule. But go ahead and click that link in the chat, guys. Open up the calendar, get your booking in there. And then while you're doing that, I want to walk you guys through different types of partners that we already have using AstraMed. So Jason Kelly, he's an online health professional. I know we have some online coaches here as well. And he also does a little bit of in-person as well, but he's actually selling most of this online. So the reason why I put his picture in here is because he did something that I love, and this is just what you guys will see in our community, is that he got in immediately. 48 hours later, he sold his first 3 clients, but he built out a specific resource that's for an online coach and just gave it out to the community. So my ask for you guys is when you're in our community, be the giver, right? Because be the person that's not willing to share, willing to help other people, because I promise you there's no such thing as competition. Okay. Daniel Armstrong over here, he owns a med spa and he also has a supplement company. So he's doing this kind of as a hybrid where he sells it through a supplement company online. And then he also sells within his med spa as well. Tahira, I put this one here on purpose because she made me mad. So you guys will see that she sold a 3-month supply of GLP-1 medication for only $600 for her first sale. If you guys go in there now, you'll see that she finally listened to us, that she can increase her pricing, and she's now selling a 3-month supply with training for $2,500. Okay. So please listen to us. We promise when we give you guys a recommendation on pricing, it's been tested in all 50 states. We know what people are buying this for. Sean Wagner, she owns Snatch Body Spa in Birmingham, Alabama. And then also from Alabama, we have Contra here who has another body sculpting and aesthetic business as well. So we have all types of partners. And we have done this for a while now where we are very confident if this is a good fit for your business, you will know it within a week. So what we do for you guys is even if you take advantage of that implementation call, offer it and take the $1,000 off your setup fee. If you sign up and for some reason you get into our portal, you meet our doctor, right? It just, for some reason, something is not a good fit for your business. We give you guys a full refund within 7 days, no questions asked. Okay. And then from there, we just month to month. Because we know that at a 50% profit margin, you sell 2 12-week packages. That's all it takes to be profitable. And then my favorite part about how we operate is that you're only paying the at cost for each patient after you have signed that person up. So you do not have to invest money up front for medication, doctor fees, shipping fees, things such as that. You're only paying for a client after they have signed up with you and paid you directly. So just in case you guys don't have, I'm going to bump this up in the chat one more time where you guys can book. Anyone else already booked their implementation call? Let me know in the chat if you have. Just curious. Awesome, Adam. I look forward to talking to you guys. Karen, awesome. Love it. You guys are quick. Look at you guys. Perfect. So guys, you'll see this link. I'll drop it one more time in the chat. This is where you can book your implementation call. Again, on this implementation call, what we'll do, it won't take more than 15 minutes. I just want to personally meet you. If we're going to be extending our Dr. Prashad's name to you guys, we want to just make sure that we obviously know who we're working with, and then of course answer any specific questions that you guys have. So let's do this real quick. We have a handful of minutes here. So I want to do, because I know there's still a lot of you guys still on here, is I want to answer any specific questions that you have. Okay, so there is no dumb question, right? I know there's a lot of range of questions that we can have. So do me a favor, drop your questions in the chat. I have some common ones that people ask that I'll go through here as well, but I want to make sure that I specifically answer your guys' questions since you're here on the call. So first one here, so Stacy, is medical director not needed? It is not, because Dr. Prashad and her team are the people that are handling medical fulfillment. Okay, so medical fulfillment is handled by us, our doctors. We are MSO for our doctors, so we are legally allowed to collect money, all that stuff on their behalf. So you guys do not need a medical director, and you do not need medical staff on hand. Justin, great question. So peptide offerings and roadmap. Okay, so all right, pay attention to this one, guys. This is where it gets fun. There are a lot of cool peptides coming out. The issue with the peptide market right now is most of it is research only. So that means that if someone's buying a peptide online, it usually comes in a vial that says for research only, and it says not for human use. So you can imagine selling that to your clients is pretty sketchy. So all the peptides we're rolling out are peptides that we are licensed to prescribe, and they're coming from a doctor, and they're coming from a 503A pharmacy. Okay, so they do not say research only or anything like that on them. So July 1st, we are rolling out NAD, Samorelin, glutathione, and then ODTs. ODTs are the oral disintegrating tablets for semaglutide and tirzepatide. Okay, so we will be increasing our monthly pricing after we roll those things out. For you guys, if you guys sign up now, you will stay locked in at the $297 per month. Okay, so you will have full access to all medications roll out from now on when you sign up now. The other medications that we'll be rolling out here after July would be like BPC 157, retatrutide, and then other peptides that we deem appropriate, and we have a full protocol for it. Okay, TRT and HRT will be rolling out probably before end of the year. That's just a little bit more complicated from a software perspective, as we need to make sure that we have lab work, check-ins, all those things there. So just to recap that one more time, by July we will have NAD, glutathione, Samorelin, and then ODTs, oral disintegrating tablets. Stacy says, what are the requirements for GLP-1s? Great question. So we do everything from an async intake form. Biggest thing we're looking at is going to be BMI. We're going to be looking for diabetes. We're going to be looking for kidney, liver, or thyroid conditions. Okay, and so we give you guys the full training, Wendy, on exactly what we're looking at, the intake forms. That way, before you sell someone, you already know, and you can ask those contradiction questions. Okay. Stacey, you are correct on BMI is integrated. It is. We really prefer, like for Dr. Bouchard in her in-person location, goes more off of body fat percentage. Now that's a little bit tough because obviously not everyone has a good way to test their patients when it comes to body fat percentage. So right now they do look at BMI from a perspective of just where this person at weight-wise. Timeline on retatrutide, that one will be coming out probably mid-July. For retatrutide, we already have it. We just need to make sure that we have the protocols on it. Matt and Molly, if you guys book, you did say you booked your implementation call. Once you book your implementation call, you'll see an email that comes to you with our resource guide. In that resource guide, we have the full list of pricing on there for you guys. Okay, great questions. What about patients who hit goal? Can they do maintenance? Great question, Stacy. So we do maintenance dosing. We do microdosing for people that were already on GLP-1s and hit their goal. Okay. Now we are not a fan of prescribing people like maintenance, like microdosing, if they had not already been on GLP-1s and hit their goal. So right now they have to have been on it, or they were on it with us. They hit that goal weight, and then we will have a tapering off, like microdosing or maintenance for them as well. Okay, great question. Will you do testosterone hormones? Yes. So we are actually technically already licensed to prescribe in all 50 states for TRT, but it is a controlled substance. So there just are, there's a lot of tech that has to be involved, because with a controlled substance, you don't just have to be licensed that state to prescribe, but you have to also be able to know all other controlled substances that person is on in their state. Okay. So we are building that out for our software right now. Our goal is by end of year to have TRT and other hormone replacement therapy. Great questions, guys. I love this. Are you prescribing what should I? Yeah. So everything we do, because it's a 503 pharmacy, it has to be prescription based. Okay. So when we do roll out retatrutide, it will be based off of prescription. It depends on the state, Stacy. Some people might require a physical, right, where they have to go in like a Quest Labs or something like that to do their blood work. So when they do their blood work, they have to see blood pressure and some other metrics that they check for. So that will be included in that package that we roll out for TRT. But you are correct, right? There is a lot of that is necessary for some states. Great questions, guys. Stacy, the BMI we look at is going to be 26. So if they're below a 26 BMI, they will be denied right now. Now we will be rolling out where it's going to be kind of case by case, especially if you can have something like a body fat analysis machine, because like Dr. Bouchard, she loves to provide for her in-person clinic clients, she'll prescribe them if they have, because so you'll have some people low on the BMI, but they have super high body fat percentage. Okay. So that will be something that we'll be rolling out for you guys to be able to do on perfect. You have it in body. That's what she has as well. Okay, sweet. So that's going to be great. Yeah, high A1C. Yep, especially. Yep. That's a big benefit for it. Date for retatrutide is going to be, we're looking, I can't give you a set date for that one. The set dates for July 1st will be for the NAD, so more glutathione than ODTs, the oral disintegrating tablets. Retatrutide, we're pushing for like mid-July is where we want to go. Okay. Retatrutide is just, we want the protocols. Retatrutide is definitely a lot more powerful, but I do want to make this clear, guys. The speed of weight loss is not always what matters, right? Because the speed of weight loss also increases the speed of muscle loss as well. So sometimes it's not a cool thing to lose 10 pounds in a week. Okay. I see some head nods there. Love it. Marketing assistance other than package scripting. So we sold our marketing agency. That they are still awesome. They're still up and operating. We pretty much know all marketing agencies that are worth their salt in this space. So we are open to connecting you guys with anyone that you need if you need help with meta advertising. That's where we have the most experience around. But we do in our training, we do give you guys a lot of resources around marketing, those live calls. Again, Justin Lesh is probably one of the most knowledgeable person when it comes to paid marketing itself. So you guys will have some support there, but we do not do done for you marketing. Okay, we prioritize our attention on patient care, the medical side of things, what you guys are paying us for. So we do not upsell you guys marketing services or do done for you marketing, but we do have a lot of connections that we can help you guys out with as well. Okay, great question. Also, my friends, I'll give you guys, we have like 2 more minutes here before I do have to close the Zoom room. So if there is anything else in here, we have actually hit, you guys have asked all of the common FAQs. So I won't even go through this because we have answered every single one. The one that we did not answer, though, is this first one here, which is the rules around compounding GLP-1 medications. So some states are heavily cracking down on this. If not, they will catch up. But you can no longer just ship medication to a clinic and have that compounded specifically in like a bulk format. So everything has to be patient-specific prescriptions. Okay. So our doctor writes a patient prescription medication for that patient, and that means that our 503A pharmacy can compound that medication specifically for that patient and ship directly to the patient's house. So we have no issues with compounding. We are clear. We're good to go. That's always been a role with the FDA. It complies with all their guidelines. But what we can't do is we can't ship in bulk to your location. Okay, so I just want to make that very clear. We will not ship in bulk to your location. Some people are getting away from it and getting away with it, but it's just not legal anymore for us to ship compounded medication directly to your location. Awesome. Man, you guys asked some great questions. This is beautiful. I love it. So guys, I'm super excited. I will see you guys on your implementation calls. If you guys have any specific questions before that call that you just maybe for some reason you thought of after this, you didn't get answered today, you have our number that we've been texting you from. We all see that. Some of those are automated. We all know that, but we do see those messages. So if you text in with any specific questions or maybe anything that you need that I didn't cover on this call, please shoot us a text. We'll get you guys an answer here before end of day today. Other than that, I appreciate you guys for joining today. I appreciate you for hanging out with me. I hope that I made this very clear, that you guys got some value from this and understanding how you can add on a medical weight loss team to your business. And I will see you guys on your implementation calls. All right, you guys have a blessed Monday. Go crush the day.